Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today topic of our video is, should all dog lovers follow Zach George? And like I indicate in the title, I firmly believe that yes, absolutely. If you love dogs, you want to have a dog, you are currently having a dog, or you just want to watch fun dog content, absolutely hop to Zach's channel and see what's there and enjoy it. It's not only great dog training content here available, but also what you see is very well produced and edited content. It's aesthetically pleasing, it's fun to watch. I even like the commercials, and I'm not sponsored neither by Zach nor by BarkBox or any other of his sponsors. So I'm just saying this as a personal feedback to Zach George and his wife Bree, who is doing an amazing work co-producing these pieces of content with him. And I enjoy the channel. I watch it in my free time and I learn a lot from it for my own dogs as well as clients' dogs. It's just such an easy way to learn and to refresh as a balanced trainer who has become a force-free trainer, to refresh my understanding of what force-free dog training is all about. Because it's not simple. The principles are simple, yes, just do no harm and so forth, just rely predominantly on positive reinforcement, but there is a lot of finesse and intricacy that goes into it, and I find Zach demonstrates that very beautifully in his videos. And I would say watch whatever videos you like there. There's different playlists about trick training. There's a playlist about every board and train, almost a series he has. So he would take dogs in for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time and film a lot of content with them. These are usually quite untrained dogs, oftentimes young dogs or rescue dogs, shelter dogs. And at the end of the series, he would either give the dog back to the owner or find a perfect home for that dog if the dog had come from a shelter or rescue organization in the first place. So we have the series with, I think it's called a dog training experience, with his personal dog, the border collie Inertia, superstar, my favorite one. And it is a very long series that spans, I think, over 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just currently re-watching some of these episodes that I missed the first time round, because when Inertia was a puppy, also my own dog, one of my own dogs, my mountain dog Maya, was a puppy. So I picked up on that series, but then I fell off the wagon because I worked for Balanced Dog Trainer, and he was like saying, oh no, Zach's methods don't work, and so I believed him and thought, oh well, that's a shame. I really enjoyed watching that, but okay, what I believed the narrative of the balance trainers for a few years. 4 years later, I watched some more of Zach's stuff in my free time, and first to spy on what he was up to in terms of the Dog Daddy campaign back then, to report to my team and my boss and see if there's anything worth of note, any developments against the balance trainers that I might need to alert them to. But then I really got, like, in German we got a saying, like, it takes you sleeve in. Like, imagine a factory and there's a machine who processes stuff, and if you're not careful, your sleeve might get hooked and you might get like pulled in the machine by the sleeve. Obviously not good. But in a figurative sense, that's what happened to me. I kept listening to what Zach and Bree had to say in their conversations, because there's another playlist on his channel about the dog training crisis. I think it's even called a dog training crisis. And they're having these good conversations about the history of dog training and why the last 20 years have brought progress, but they haven't brought the breakthrough to where all of the states in the US, the different states, have a licensure on dog training. In fact, to my knowledge, as of today, when I'm filming this video, no state has yet such legislation. There is a legislation in the making that comes pretty close to that, pretty close to a good version of that, and it's in New Jersey, but we still don't know if that'll go through and if the exemptions will be ironed out, whatever. We will see how that goes. But the dog training crisis playlist talks about the balanced versus force-free dog training controversy, talks about Dog Daddy as an example for an old school aversive trainer who really has a potential through lack of knowledge to mess up dogs pretty bad and cause dangerous situations for dogs and his owners and so forth. So we have these different playlists. We have the inertia playlist, we have the dog training crisis on Zach George's channel. We also have playlists with a few other dogs. One is the newest series, the Wallace series, with this gorgeous German Shepherd Malinois mix. Very, very nice to watch. The best series so far, I think. I just don't like that the episodes are so short. I like the really chunky ones, the vlog style ones. But if you like vlog style dog training stuff, go back to the Inertia series. Go also to the series where Zach and Bree bring in their new puppy Veronica. There's a specific playlist and it features them driving all through the US and Canada to go pretty much with a camper van, or the English word for the vehicle escapes me, sorry. There's a car or truck and there's a trailer. I think a trailer is the correct word. So they live that lifestyle where they go through the wilderness and they film and vlog all along and document the journey. And that's very enjoyable to watch, very vlog style. There's lots of wildlife, and I think that's my favorite, where they have that journey happen. Then there's others in Alaska itself with what's his name? The rescue dog, a big chunky rescue dog, and Chop is his name. That's a fun series too. Then there's a series, of course, in Alaska with a Cane Corso puppy Shade. Then we have another Alaska series with a little rescue puppy whose name is Biscuit. And I think in New Orleans there's a series filmed with a puppy called an Irish Doodle puppy. I don't know what her name is, but also very long vlog style episodes, which I greatly enjoy. So there you have it. I'm a total fan of Zach George. I make no excuses about it. Why should I? I'm proud to be a fan. And now lately on my channel, you might have seen, and also my social media, I've been speaking about the topic of pitbull type breeds a little bit more, how you can defend against an attack should, God forbid, you or a loved one ever be in a situation, what you can do to preempt and prevent such incidents from happening in the first place. So I'm just getting concerned by the numbers that we see, the statistics that we see, not just the circumstantial and anecdotal evidence of tons of people coming to us in the dog training world and giving us these accounts of what they experience in their lives, like their dog's been attacked by pitbull type dogs, their cats being sent over the Rainbow Bridge by such dogs. And it's more that I look into the facts and statistics behind the scenes of such news headlines, and I get alarmed, and that's why I felt obligated almost to speak up about it a bit on my socials. But you might say, well, Zach George loves pit bulls and he has a series also with a pit bull. George the pit bull, I think, is one of his favorite dogs to work with. And yes, absolutely. Because the thing is, what people misunderstand when they hear people like me then talk about pit bulls and swing around the term BSL, that is not that I would hate pit bulls or their owners or something like that. It's more a concern because of the sheer facts, the numbers climbing up every year, and the pit bull breed conglomerate being right up there and the highest percentage of the dogs causing such things. Now, if everyone would, watch the series, please, with George the Pitbull, the training series. I watched every episode because it's just that good. And yeah, if I hated pit bulls, I wouldn't have watched it, right? So right there you have it. it's for me a perfect teaching example. I refer lots of people to actually who have pit bulls and are getting concerned because theirs is getting out of hand, or they fear that it's getting out of hand, and or even people who are afraid of pit bulls, maybe their family members have one. I say, okay, why don't you watch the George series on Zach George's channel, George the Pitbull, and just show to people how you can go about safely managing and training a pit bull type dog. Because it's my firm conviction, if everyone watches that series and emulates what Zach is showing, what he is doing with that dog as closely as possible, that dog is not going to become a problem. And here's why. Firstly, Zach doesn't let that pit bull go and meet and greet other dogs. It's a recipe for disaster so often, because your pit bull can get triggered or intimidated. The prey drive can get triggered by another dog, especially if it's a rescue pit bull. There's this hidden triggers you don't know of. Another dog might switch on something in their brain, and next thing you have is a horrendous dog fight, your pit bull clamping down on some dog's face, and it's going to be an all-round nightmare. So Zach George does never allow a dog in his care to meet and greet other dogs on walks. He doesn't, and I greatly like that about him. I respect that. And it's something, if another dog approaches him whilst he has a dog in his care with him, he will either pick up the dog he has with him, like physically pick up even a collie, or he will body block that other dog and stop that other dog from coming. And this is actually something that, especially if you have a pit bull type dog with you who might be dog aggressive, or you might just not know, that you absolutely should do to avoid that confrontation in the first place, right? What Zach also doesn't do is let that pit bull George roam free off leash and go and sprint after some people's pets or people's kids or whatnot, which is scary anyway, even if the dog means no harm. What he also doesn't do is have a unsecured yard where the dog is just left out there in that backyard and is free to take his time to dig under that fence or jump over that fence. So you see Zach in his yard with that dog, George the Pitbull, playing. He's teaching him frisbee, and the dog's becoming this amazing frisbee dog that can catch, like, I think 2 frisbees in a row out of the air. This is pretty amazing. Again, you have to watch it. You have to watch it, please. It's such a good series. So the Zach is giving that pit bull a healthy outlet on a daily basis to play and enjoy and zoom around, but he's always out in the yard with him. So the dog is under supervision, is under good care, gets healthy nutrition, gets vet checkups, gets training every day, gets mental stimulation, physical stimulation, communication is built in the training process, very important. So it is indeed quite a holistic approach. And if everyone who wants to own a pit bull or is currently having a pit bull would take teaching from that in safe containment, great training, holistic care for that dog, stimulation, finding outlets for those high drives these dogs have, we would not have a pit bull problem, so to speak, in the US. So I can say from being in Europe, it's much less of a problem here because we have BSL, breed-specific legislation, but that doesn't mean that people come and take away people's dogs and put them to sleep. No, of course not. BSL, more often than not, just means that there's regulations in place. Say here in my country, in Portugal, if you want a pit bull type dog, you can absolutely get that dog, but you must have a high level of commitment. You must have a clean police record, criminal record. You must have a commitment and get a certification for going into a dog school with that dog and spending a certain amount of lessons there. So you have to essentially hire a trainer for that dog and be able to prove that, which is excellent, should be done for almost every dog that can do harm if they put their mind to it. Imagine society would be so much better off if every, say, guardian breed owner had to do the same, right? You also have to have a muzzle and a short 1 meter leash. So I think, how many is that in feet? 3 foot leash, maybe, on the dog in public at all times. And you have to have a secured property where the dog cannot escape. So all that's in place. It's perfectly fine for you here in my country to have a pit bull and enjoy that dog. And some people do. And we almost never see headlines with pit bull type dogs here for that reason. And again, this is not the big bad word BSL to mean that those dogs are hated and harmed and whatnot or thrown into shelters. No, absolutely not. In fact, shelter population, you hardly ever see a pit bull type dog because they are so rare, because people have to be just that committed to fulfilling all the obligations. So that's a model that I could totally see to work for the US as well. And flat out ban, yeah, it might work too, but also look what happened in the UK with that flat out ban that was implemented not fairly, not smoothly, and certainly to the detriment of dogs, completely innocent dogs and their owners. So that's surely, plus it hasn't even worked as of yet. The number of fatalities caused by XL American bullies registered mostly now, it keeps on rising. So something isn't quite working there. So yeah, all I'm saying is, in my speech about why all dog lovers should follow Zach George, is that his approach is definitely a solution I would see for the pit bull problem, to be honest. But how to make everyone be so committed to their dog, how to make everyone watch these kind of videos, watch these kind of training series, and understand that they have to follow these safeguards. They have to have the leash, the safe control, the safe fencing, providing healthy outlets for the drives and so forth, to have a safe experience with a pit bull type dog, because we see every day in the news what happens if you don't, right? But say you just have not a mastiff, not a guardian breed dog, not even a hunting dog, maybe you just got a little companion dog, a little Havanese or Shih Tzu, Pekingese, whatever it may be, Chihuahua, Dachshund, little terrier. You can benefit from Zach George's channel as well. And why? Because the training and day-to-day living with dogs is shown in such ways that are easy to understand. You don't need to be a dog professional to learn how to teach your dog basic skills, crate training, potty training, leaving things alone on cue, focusing on you, like paying attention to you on a walk. His famous leave it, look at me combo is my favorite part. And all the trick training that you can learn, you have fun with. Like I have beagles, and even with a big mountain dog I've learned from Zach's channel how to do trick training with these dogs. And I come from the balanced dog training world, the bite sports world even, and that's as far removed from trick training as possible. So we used to laugh at that and say, it's BS, it's just like foo-foo or woo-woo stuff that no dog needs. But no, in fact, it's fun for you, for the dog. It builds communication between you and the dog, and it's just great for your relationship. It's one of my favorite things to teach, for sure. And I would say, again, I think there is even a playlist for trick training that Zach has on the channel. It's his older videos that he has with his senior dog they had, or Brie, his wife's senior dog, I should rather say. It's the beautiful, I think, Australian Shepherd Border Collie Sharpei mix, if I remember correctly. Indy was her name. And she starred in many of those trick training videos where the dogs would learn how to sit pretty, how to even pray, like put the head between the paws, put the paws up on a chair, or to walk backward, or to roll over, play dead, weave behind the legs, or do a figure eight, give paw, obviously, the easier ones, all the way up to what Zach used to teach his performance collies. He used to go to do frisbee competitions and was, I think, 3-time champion with them. So really successful with his 3 border collies. And he did all these stalls where you see the dog would jump on his back and then push off, or even jump. He'd lie on his back, put the feet up, and the dog would jump onto his feet and balance and then jump off again. This is super fascinating. I mean, for that you almost have to have a collie or something light and agile and willing to be so in tune with what you're asking. I don't think I could get my beagles to actually do that. Maybe, but I'm just not I don't know. I haven't reached that level yet. But I taught my beagle, at least my younger beagle, a lot of tricks, and he knows pretty much, I think, 30 different skills. It's just fascinating. It's so much fun. So yeah, Zach George's channel has something for everyone, and you'll see the link to the channel in my video title. I'll tag the channel so you can click directly on there. I would also suggest you get both of his books. Let me just get them, in fact. Yeah, I have them here. Just hang on, here they come. So, I don't know if you see it well because of the mirroring effect. Yeah, you don't. But so one is Zach George's Guide to a Well-Behaved Dog, Proven Solutions to the Most Common Training Problems for All Ages, Breeds and Mixes. This is this one. And then I think this is the first one here. Zach George's Dog Training Revolution, the Complete Guide to Raising the Perfect Pet with Love. Here we have it. So get both of the books on Amazon. Again, I'm not affiliated, I wish, but I'm a big fan. I love the books, and they served me actually very well whilst I was crossing over from the balanced side. So in my free time, I would read these books and I would educate myself, and it would even help me in my balanced work to consult our clients how to teach certain things, because it's just the Guide to Well-Behaved Dog. This is a book that gives these A to Z guides on how to teach a sit stay, how to teach the basics of fetch, the game of fetch, how to teach the leave it look at me combo, and crate training, potty training, and troubleshooting, like the most common behavioral problems or behavioral quirks like leash pulling, counter surfing, stealing, excessive barking, barking in the crate, digging, humping. You get the picture. So once again, I'm a big fan of Zach George, and that said, I think his channel is great for everyone. He also has a very nice Instagram page that you can look up. You'll find everything on the YouTube channel. I think a YouTube channel is a good place to start, and then if you want to go to Insta and Facebook as well, by all means do that. If you like the social media game where people comment these different things, it can be a bit aggravating. Maybe if you're not used to the social media squabbles that can ensue in such comment sections. So don't take anything personally that's balance trainers might throw at you. If you leave a nice comment, someone says, can you follow Zach George? He doesn't know what he's doing. And just ignore and laugh about it. The people have no idea what they're talking about. I too was once a critic, and I became a force-free trainer by hanging out in Zach George's comment section on his Facebook page. And just commenting, and what brought me over, a big part of it is that he himself and his wife Bree took the time to patiently answer any questions or addressing concerns in that comment section themselves. So it wasn't any customer service person writing a blah 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 answer. And I used to be customer service person, so I'm not not looking down on customer service employees. I just say, if the business owners take the time to respond to people in the comment section, it's so much more. It just does something different. It engages the audience different. It's more rewarding for people to come back and keep commenting. And I still enjoy commenting in there. I just don't even bother to get into big discussions with balanced trainers, because people who are digging their heels in, they're not gonna, just say, okay, well, I'm convinced now. It's gonna take a bit more than that. Everyone's on their own journey with it. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.